Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today, as you can see from the title, I'm going to help you understand how to process vocals. As you'll see in a little bit, I have vocal sample opened, which is dry, and I'm gonna do all the steps that I would normally do to any vocal processing work that I'm doing. If you find this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button, as it will really help the algorithm. And obviously, I think this is going to be one of my best videos because I feel like a lot of people are struggling with vocals. So that's the idea for this video. I want you to understand what you should do, what steps you should cover, and why. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's just hop into the computer. We are now in the computer, and I have a vocal that sounds like this. It's actually a dry vocal from Splice. It sounds like this.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low, high on happy overdose. You know that we ain't got no problems.
When I listen to this, I know that there has been some processing behind this. There's obviously something, they obviously did something. Maybe they ran the vocal recording through a compressor and maybe a EQ. I don't know, but this is the most dry signal I could get. And before I get any technical into this, I would just want to get this clear. If the vocal sample you're working with is very poorly recorded, you are going to have a very hard time fixing it. In the ideal world, you want to have the best recording you can. I can't really tell you how to properly record. I guess that would be for another video. But yeah, once you have a good recording of your vocal without any effects, again, this is dry, it should sound something similar to what I showed you. And the first thing that I usually do to vocals is making it more stable. That's how I like to see it. So I work with the dynamics. I try to use some vocal writer. Actually, let me just explain what I mean by stable. As we can see, the vocal, let me make this bigger. The vocal, it's staying at some sort of, let's call it -3 decibels on all of them. And at some point, there's some crazy peaks, and when you listen to them, they are noticeable. And if you process the vocal as a whole, and let's say you add distortion, those peaks might sound over distorted. You want to fix that and have a little bit more balance, a little bit more stabilized recording, right? Let's actually listen to it again.
We ain't got no problems.
You can hear that the problem, it just hits too hard in the beginning. So what would I do? Well, you can do many things, and one of the most basic things to do is actually do an automation for the volume. So you can automate the volume, literally go on hand and make adjustments to the sounds that you want to have a little bit lower in volume. So let's say this part right here, we want to have it like this, I guess, right? And put this up here. Let's say we want to put this other part lower. So this would be an idea of what I would do. Not here though, not this part. Let's just leave it there. But now let's play it.
We ain't got no problems.
We can even take this lower so it doesn't hurt that much.
We ain't got no problems.
Now it's a little bit more stable. After this, what I would normally do is consolidate this again, so I can see that it's more stable. Let's consolidate it to see if it looks better. Well, now we can see, now that it's exported, we can see the difference between this waveform and the other one. As we can see, this one, it stays a little bit more stable than on this one, because this one just had some crazy peaks. We can actually put it on top of the other one. We can see the difference of the green one just being a little bit louder. That's step number 1 for me, and normally this will take some time. You don't want to do it as fast as I did. And there's actually tools out there that can help you achieve it easier and faster without having the need to do all of this. One of those tools is actually called Vocal Writer. Waves has one, which is called Vocal Writer. I'm sure I have it around here. Vocal Writer. And what this does is basically what I did with the automation, but without having to automate. It does a live automation of the vocal. Let's wait till this plugin actually opens so you can see it. And as you can see, there's a big knob here, and it has a range, and it has an output, and it has sensitivity. If we play it,
Sun is out, ain't feeling low, high on happy over.
As you can see, since we have the range here, when it hits a certain volume, it will take it down to what the medium output would be. You can actually automate this even. You can make an automation with this, which I'm not going to go into it. I'm showing you the way to understand because this will take some time. But first step would be using a vocal writer. You're not affecting the tone of the vocals or anything yet. All you're doing is just making it more stable. All right. There's actually a vocal writer inside FL Studio. If you open Patcher, I'm pretty sure there's one. If you open Patcher, there's a preset here called Vocal Writer. It's actually the last one. When you open it, it basically does the same thing as Vocal Writer from Waves. This one has a little bit less options than Vocal Writer from Waves, but it's the free version for those of you. We're not going to use this as I already did that automation, and I'm not going to process the whole vocal. I'm just going to process this part. All right, so after adding an automation or just a vocal writer to make it more stable, output-wise, we now can focus on fixing the tonal aspects of the vocal. So for that, I would use an EQ. I'm actually going to link this to a channel just so I don't have to put everything on the master. And I would normally use an EQ. Let's listen to it and let's see how it looks here on the EQ.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low, high on happy overdose. You know that we ain't got no problems.
We can see that it's really all mids, most of it, and then some highs, which is good. I mean, vocals are usually mids. What I would do here, though, is get rid of the lows. As you've seen my other videos, that's the first step to everything. I don't want to get rid of all the lows, though. I want to keep a little bit, but make sure not to have any sub. If you don't get rid of them at the end of the mix, it might cause some trouble. So let's remove as much as we can.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low, high on happy overdose. You know that we ain't got no problems.
Let's listen to it again.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low, high on happy.
I feel like this is as low as I can, as high as I can get. It's 181 hertz. Pretty good. For the next part of the tonal aspect, I would try to get rid of some of the sibilants. And what sibilants? Actually, I'm going to open just parametric EQ again, so it doesn't get that crazy for you guys which don't have more expensive plugins. I would play the vocal again and check for annoying resonances using a bell shape on just one. It can be anything. I'm using 5 here, but let's listen to it and let's find an annoying resonance.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low, high on happy overdose. You know.
Around here, it's very annoying. What I would normally do is exaggerate it to listen to it so I can know that this is exactly the frequency that it's annoying me.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low.
Over here, it's pretty annoying. So what I would do is just take it down to get rid of that. So let's listen to it now.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low, high on happy overdose.
Around there, it seems exaggerated, but it really, really helps. And I'm actually removing it at around 3,300 hertz. And I would do this like 4 or 5 different times. Just getting rid of all those annoying frequencies. Let's find another one, right? Let's find another one. We make the bell as small as we can, and let's find something annoying around here.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low, high on happy overdose. You know that we ain't got no problems.
Around here, we can get rid of something.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low.
Let's just make another one I'm trying to make this as fast as I can, by the way. Let's listen to this.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low.
There's a lot of sibilants around here, so I can remove a little bit, and that's it.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low.
So if we remove this, the problem with this is that vocal moves, and I mean every type of sound moves, and if you remove a resonance, one note, this is basically one note, so when the vocal goes up, those resonances go up. So nowadays we have the right tools to fix this way easier than by using an EQ and just having to basically do surgery to the vocals. So one of the things that I like using is Gulfos. This video is not sponsored by them. I wish it was, but it's not. This is Gulfos, and what you can do is basically tame frequencies, but it also follows those frequencies. This is basically like smart EQ. let's listen to it and let's tame, since that's exactly what I want to do. I want to tame everything and make it as controlled as I can, so then I can add taste to it, right? So let's listen to it.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low, high on happy overdose.
Especially around this frequencies where we find problems. So with this, I can tell it to ignore everything below 180, and around here we don't want to get much of the highs. Let's just get rid of those annoying sibilances. So let's listen to this again.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low, high on happy overdose.
I think that sounds cleaner to me. Let's remove Goldfalls and let's listen to the vocal without it.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low.
With it.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low.
It is very, very subtle. Obviously, you can exaggerate it to see the change.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low.
This thing is crazy. It's just removing what's annoying, which is good. You could actually use it that way if you wanted to. Again, this video is me trying to help you understand how to process your vocals. This is a guide, all right? It doesn't mean that just because I removed frequencies at 3000, you should do it as well. I'm just telling you, in this case, get rid of sibilances. The worse the recording, the more problems you're gonna have to tame it down. But it's still possible. It is still possible if you have the right tools. I'm going to remove Goldfalls as we don't really need it, because we're just giving a broad explanation of how to do it. Normally, as I'm opening right now, I would usually use Nectar 3 as it's just the best plugin for vocals, although you don't need it, all right? But I'm opening Nectar to show you what I would do next, all right? After having the vocal on the right volume and just controlled, I would add a pitch correction. I know this vocal already has some, but we're gonna do it just for the sake of doing it, right? You can either use this pitch correction tool, or you can use Pitcher, right? Let's actually use Pitcher and go back to that if we need to. What we're doing with this is basically tune the vocals. As you can see, I don't even know the full version of Pitcher. Let's play it. Let's see how it sounds.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low, high on happy overdose.
It sounds exaggerated, and you don't want that. You want it to sound more natural. How do you do that? Well, it's all about the speed. Never use it on fast. Use it between fast and medium, and maybe slow even. Let's listen to it now.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low.
It's still too much. Let's take it even lower.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low, high on happy overdose. You know that we ain't got no problems.
That feels a little bit better to me. I could put it a little bit more to like 33, yeah. You don't want to do it too exaggerated, although maybe you do. Maybe if you're recording a vocal from Akon or someone like that, maybe Tyga or something, you want your vocals to sound like extremely auto-tuned, which I don't know. I wouldn't go for that. So yeah, after that, now my vocals are controlled and ready to be just processed even way more to bring up those amazing textures that we want. So as we can see on Nectar, you have everything for vocals. So first thing that I would do is add an EQ again and just add some highs. First of all, add some highs, but let's listen to it.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low, high on happy overdose.
We can add something like that. We're actually adding a lot, so let's just add like 3. I wouldn't go more than 3. I feel like just looking at the vocal, we can boost some of the mids as well, but make it a little bit fatter. Let's actually listen to it while we do it.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low, high on happy overdose.
Around here, I just felt like it needed a little bit more frequencies. This is around 2000. We are boosting stuff, but also making it more balanced. Because that's what everything is in music, I think. It's just balancing stuff. Balancing. So now it sounds like this.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low.
It used to sound like this.
Sun is out, ain't.
Now it sounds like this.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low.
Maybe it's a little bit too much mids, but
sun is out, ain't feeling.
So far, so good. Now, after this, I would add a compressor. I would normally add a compressor. You can select the type of compressor that you want, maybe solid state, maybe digital. In this case, I'm going to use a solid state. And for this, you don't really need to use Nectar, all right? There are some free compressors out there called MJUC Junior by Klanghelm. Sorry if I mispronounced it. For this example, I would change the time constraint for auto, and I would add a little bit of compression. Let's listen to it actually. Let's remove the compression in this, or just turn it off. And now let's listen. Let's actually do the work in this free plugin.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low, high on happy overdose. You know.
Let's exaggerate it a little bit.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low.
As you can see here, it's really taking it down a lot. You don't want that.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low, high on happy overdose. You know that we ain't got no problems.
Around here, so it only does like around at 8.8. So it's just subtle compression. You don't want to add all your compression in just one plugin. At least that's what I don't like doing. So let's listen to it.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low, high on happy overdose.
If we remove everything from the vocal so far, it used to sound like this.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low.
And now it sounds like this.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low.
It sounds a little bit more controlled. Again, I'm doing this as fast as I can. And yes, this deserves a lot more time. And yes, I'm not an audio engineer. At least I don't have a certificate. But yeah, I can go back after this compression. I can actually go back to Nectar and show you the kind of compression that I would do. Basically, it's the same thing, just a fast one.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low, high on happy overdose. You know that we ain't got no problems.
As you can see on Nectar, you actually have a threshold thing. And I kind of like it better because it's visual, right? That's why I use it.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low, high on happy overdose.
And all I'm doing this is controlling the peaks. And since I can see it, I know that I know exactly where I should put it. So
sun is out, ain't feeling low, high on happy overdose. You know that we ain't got no problems. Sun is out, ain't feeling low, high on happy overdose. You know that we ain't got no problems.
Around here is fine. After the compression, I usually like adding a saturation. And select a type of saturation that you want. Normally, the one that I like is either tape or tube distortion. Let's add tape distortion and let's see how it sounds.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low, high on happy overdose.
Obviously, you don't want to exaggerate it as I'm doing right now. We're just seeing what it does to it, right?
Sun is out, ain't feeling low, high on happy overdose.
Around 50% sounds fine. We can bypass it.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low,
with it,
high on happy overdose.
All this is doing is adding tone to it, harmonics. And that's what we want. After that, I would normally add the easer to get rid of the highs, to some of the high frequencies that annoy me. In this case, this vocal doesn't really have any highs, as it's not using a lot of S's and T's, which is what would normally. Let's listen to this and let's see if there's any annoying sounds. There's so little. They're actually almost unnoticeable, but the little that we can get, I'm just gonna leave it at there. 6.7 decibels, and it's just getting rid of the small details. Again, at the end of the day, when you're making small changes, you're basically molding it into an amazing final result. A lot of people like adding a compressor that just over limits I tend to see a lot of people over compressing with just one compression, just oversaturating and everything. And you don't have to. You can use different types of plugins that can help you achieve a final great result, a final great sound, which is great. So after the easer, then here comes the more, let's call it creative part, which is adding reverb and normally delay. We can add a slap delay, that's what some people call it. Then we can add just a pretty quote unquote long reverb to add space. So for the reverb, I would normally get rid of the lows first of all and rid of some of the highs. Just listen to it. Let's see how it sounds. Let's actually disable the delay. Actually, let me remove the listen here. Let's see how it sounds.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low.
This is obviously too much reverb. So we can control the mix here, over here. I would take it down to like, I don't know, maybe I feel like it has a lot of highs. So put it around here and put the mix at around 20.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low, high on happy overdose.
I still feel like there's a lot of reverb, so I can put a little bit less. Just as an example, it depends on the song that you're doing. It depends on the effect that you want to do. But normally, this sounds great. Again, for the delay, I would put around 12%, 15.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low.
Some people, actually, going back to the tutorial, some people like to make vocals, the main vocal, 100% mono. So maybe we can do that as well, just to see how it sounds.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low.
Because again, remember your vocal has to stay centered. I'm actually not going to put it at 0 because then the reverb and the delay stays at 0. But let's listen to it with this subtle stuff. Again, you can make it way more exaggerated. Again, you need to take more time into doing this. Let's listen to the thing, to the vocal without anything.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low.
Now let's see how it sounds with effects.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low.
Sounds a little bit better, at least to me. But yeah, this is what I would normally do. If we actually see the presets inside of Nectar, let's get an idea of what they do. Because what we're doing here is following the steps, but when you have a tool as powerful as Nectar, you can actually open presets and do reverse engineer, which we can do right now. Let's open a cleanup, let's actually find vocal, and let's put, which preset are we going to choose? I don't know. Let's put clean and dynamic. Let's listen to this and let's see how this preset sounds.
High on happy overdose.
So without the preset, it sounds like this.
High on happy overdose. You know that we ain't got no.
And with the presets,
high on happy overdose.
As you can see, this is boosting the highs as it's using an EQ that is dynamic. And we're using a compressor that is really compressing it at minus 14.5 as for the threshold, which is good. Let's see another preset which has reverb or something so we can get an idea. Let's use this one called EDM enhancement. Now let's listen to this.
High on happy overdose.
This one, from what we can see, has exaggerated reverb and it's being used at the beginning, which I wouldn't use. So we can put it all the way in the end and we can put the reverb down or even disable it and see how it sounds.
High on happy overdose. You know that we ain't got no.
Let's bypass it.
High on happy overdose.
With it.
High on happy overdose.
Again, this is a very, very small, subtle changes that improve your vocal. It's exactly what I did. Basically what I did, got rid of the lows, got rid of some of the annoying resonances, added some of the highs to get some more texture, got rid of some of the S's, and then added a compressor, a very heavy compressor. That sounds great. Then, in this case, they've added a reverb that it also got rid of the lows, also got rid of the highs, but this one had a little bit more exaggerated reverb. Now that we can change it though, since we did inverse engineer, we can listen to this.
Sun is out, ain't feeling low. High on happy overdose.
I think that sounds great. But that's pretty much it for the tutorial. That is, in my opinion, the most essential things when processing a main vocal. I really hope this video helps you, as I know it will help a lot of you. I know it will. I trust this. I trust this will, as I consider this video one of my most valuable ones. Again, if you haven't clicked that like button, I would really appreciate it. If you want to thank me for sharing this kind of knowledge, hit that like button and subscribe. That would be more than enough for me. But that's pretty much it for this tutorial. If you want me to make a video where I talk about processing harmonies and doubles, I can do it as well. I would call it something like vocal effects or something like that. But that's pretty much it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'll see you very soon for another video. If you are not following me on Instagram, make sure you go do it. It's Jay Eskar. And in another news, I am actually releasing a song on June 19th. So if you want to pre-save it, it's going to be in the link in the description. So that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys later for another video. Yeah. Bye-bye. Damn, this video was sick, man.